Hi, I wanted to share a technique I came up with. I don't know if anyone else has done it, haven't seen it before, and I really love it and just have to share it with you. As most of you know, we love to make tags, layouts, and all kinds of things. And we have either digitals or book pages or stamped images. At least that's what I use. And a lot of times when I want to rip them out, I have to be careful how I'm ripping them. Let's see here, I'll show you. We all know the traditional way of doing this, of ripping out an image when I'm not fussy cutting. You can fussy cut, but sometimes I don't want a fussy cut. I want it to have this ragged edge. And as you know, when we're doing this, sometimes we rip wrong and ruin the image. And I was doing this one day, and I don't know why it dawned on me. I had probably been playing with watercolors, and I had my watercolor, these pens were the water tank pens. I had it on my table, and I thought, what if I use that instead? So we'll start with the coffee day. Here I have just stamped out some images, and I want to use them to embellish on my tags. As you see here, these are ripped out as opposed, tags, cards, as opposed to here, these kind that are fussy cut. Because these take time, and not only, I don't always want the fussy cut look. Sometimes I want this raggedy look. So, ripping it out by hand can be dangerous. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you have one of these, this works fabulous. Watch this. I just go around the design with the watercolor tank pen. I don't even know what these are called. I'll have to look that up. And as you can see, it does this. And then I can, as easy as butter, just pull it apart. And it comes off like nothing. Look at that. Ta-da! And I give it a second to dry before I want to ink it, because you know we ink everything. And that's how I did these. And I have a little more control with the water brush. Oh my goodness, finally comes to me. I have a little more control with the water brush than me trying to do this carefully. Uh-oh, too close. No, don't rip it. As you see, this can be a dangerous adventure. Maybe you like to live dangerously and do it like that. It works. It does work. But I'm sure most of you have one of these sitting around that's just doing nothing. And now I can make the shape going around that I wish. Yeah. I'll just give it a second and then just pull it apart. Now, so that's coffee dyed printer paper. Of course, that's thin, it's easy. I decided I pulled out a page from a book. It's relatively thick. It's not super thin. And I thought, I haven't tried it yet, so I thought I'd try it here so I can let you know if I go around my image. I'm sure I'll have to let it wet it a bit, let it sit. I don't know if you can see the water on there. Okay, this is a really thick paper. So I think I'm just going to let this sit for a second while I do it on this digital. This is a digital from Tracy Fox. It was one of her freebies, I think. And this is, I do not have one of those Scan and Cuts, Brothers, Plotters, whatever they're called, where I scan things and it cuts it out for myself. I wouldn't use it enough. I have a little Joy that I label my covers with, and that's more than enough for me. But I do love digitals, but I just don't like cutting them out all the time. So this, again, is printer paper, and I can do this And when you go around, you will see the printer paper. I don't know if it shows up in the camera. Where it's wet, it starts to change color. See, that's not wet. You heard it. Now it's wet here. Sometimes you have to give it a second. This is a little thicker, that I will admit, this printer paper. And I can just pull it apart. And none of those, oops, I ripped the image because I had no control. Ta-da! See how easy that is? Now back to this thick book page. See, it had time to soak through a bit. I don't know if you can see that. And now it makes ripping it much easier. I figure this is probably good for people that have arthritis or just have a hard time freeform ripping out images. And then here, and there we go. So I wanted to share that with you. That's how I fast free rip my images out. Let me know if you like this or if you knew this techniques. Of course, give the video a thumbs up or leave a comment. Let me know if you've seen this before. I haven't. I thought I was just a genius coming up with this. If you have seen it somewhere else, don't tell me. So I like pretending I'm a genius for 5 minutes. You know, some people are going to be thinking, okay, you ripped them all out. Now what are you going to do with them? Okay, let's do just a really quick, I don't want to call it a how-to video or a tutorial because I'm sure everybody knows how to do this. But I have a big box of scraps. All my scraps go in these baskets. So I have this. Let's grab some scraps. And this is my ink and paper. Let's start with this one. Let's see. We take a piece of scrap paper. Here I will just rip so it goes quicker. I'll take that one. And of course, a little book page is always good. We want a little piece of music paper. I have a piece here. Yes. Here's a piece of music that I will rip off. Okay, maybe put it like this. And which one do we wish to use? This big long one. Okay, looks good to me. What else do we have here on scraps? How about, we can always add, I'm sure most of you have cut out little butterflies, or I just recently made all of these tags. That would look adorable there. If you're interested how to do these, just leave a comment. And so you see, the possibilities are endless. Let's say I like, for this one, I actually like the big tag. So that will be my layout. Then I have the insides of an old book that I will then take my distressed ink and, of course, distress all the edges. And as most of you know, when doing as most of you know, when doing small collages, there's the rule of 3. I tend to use at least 3 to 5 items. And so I always use like 3 or so background papers, and then I use something as my main, an image of some sort, whether it be, you could put this in. Of course, I would distress these edges because that white doesn't excite us. I could use that. I could use this huge butterfly. Look how all of them look great. But we'll stick with this one first. And we're going kind of monotone. And I have that. So I always start with 3 little background papers, whatever, whether it be a digital, book page, music. That's my traditional 3 background setup. So this is my usual layout for a small collage. I'll use some kind of background paper, whether it be a digital or my own coffee stencil papers, a book page and a music page or something else. And then I like to use some sort of an image for the accent, the eye catcher, whether it be a photograph or, as you see, out of a book, or a fancy digital also looks cool, but something for the focal point. And then I like to use either a label, a tag, a word, something to round it off. And now we're at here's the basic 3, and then here's the 5. But it still needs a little something. So, of course, I have, what is this called again? Cheesecloth. Or you can even use some, I have here, a basket of scraps. Let me see what's in here. You can use a cheesecloth or also things from ribbons or fabrics that you may have in your leftovers. So like this, I could do something like this. I like that too. Then I would probably stitch around all of that stuff to give it more accenting. And then I glue it down. And then all of this, I would glue down on it, either directly in my journal, or you could do it on a tag. I have a bunch of tags, I guess you would call them tags, postcard size papers cut that I have made from collage masterboards. That's also, I can show you how I do that if you're interested. So I'll take one where it would fit. Let's pretend this is glued, because I'm sure you all know how to do this. And then I put it on there, and now I have a lovely card I can put in my journal or address and send out. Doesn't that look cool? And wasn't that easy? As you see, the possibilities are endless. You don't always have to overthink things. I just, like I said, I grab stuff out of the scrap bin I have, and I just grab what I like. I like to use the rule, if I like it, it stays. I don't tend to keep looking. Okay, I do sometimes. But I try not to go back into the box and look for something that's even better, because otherwise, you're just wasting time, because there's always something better. There's always something else you could find that you may like more. Let's see, how do I want to do this one? Maybe do it something like this. And then, should we use this butterfly? Better ink him up, because he's just a little, he's just a little too clean. And then maybe put it like this. Depending on how big I want it to be. Let's see. Maybe something like this. Something like this. And then, of course, we always need a little number or something. And then I would glue that together. It's easy peasy. So, now go grab your scrap box and your new free form cutout pictures, whether it be digital, stamped, or out of a book, and make a couple little tags. And I hope you like that. And if you have any other ideas, just let me know. Leave a comment, thumbs up, all that jazz. And until next time, tschüss.